This is a story about survival. Ooh, the survival of a nation.
The economic journey of the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin is a profound narrative of reclaiming sovereignty and building self-determination from a foundation of economic marginalization. Beginning with an act of self-reliance, the launch of bingo in the 1970s, the nation scaled this venture into a robust gaming empire in the 1990s, an engine that provided the necessary capital for modern tribal governance. Today, the successful model has reached a point of maturity, facing the natural limits of linear growth in a geographically constrained market. The nation now stands at a critical juncture, compelled to pivot toward the boundless opportunities of the digital economy and the revolutionary potential of advanced air mobility (AAM) to secure exponential growth and long-term prosperity. The gaming era, from sovereign act to mature optimization, 1990 to present, the ignition phase, early 1990s, sovereignty and explosive growth. The Oneida Nation's entry into high-stakes gaming was less a purely commercial choice and more a sovereign political act of economic survival. Decades of federal policy had resulted in the fragmentation of the Oneida land base, high unemployment, and a lack of essential services. The modest success of tribal bingo, initiated by Oneida women in 1976, demonstrated the inherent potential of enterprises on sovereign land. The watershed moment came with the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, IGRI, of 1988. IGRI affirmed the inherent right of tribal governments to conduct gaming as a means of generating revenue for essential government services, economic development, and the general welfare of their citizens. Armed with this federal mandate, in a strategic location adjacent to the bustling Green Bay metro area, the nation transitioned from bingo to Class III casino gaming in the early 1990s. This period was defined by explosive, near-monopolistic growth. The Oneida Casino was one of the first major tribal gaming facilities in the region, drawing massive traffic from Wisconsin and neighboring states that lacked comparable high-stakes options. This unprecedented influx of revenue served as the foundation for modern tribal government. Gaming profits funded the construction of critical infrastructure, including schools, health clinics, and the Anajon nursing home, dramatically lowering unemployment and poverty rates. The revenue stream effectively allowed the Oneida Nation to act as a fully functional, self-funded government, a profound reversal of Fortuny's market maturity and linear growth, 2000s to 2020s. The ceiling of linearity. By the turn of the millennium, the gaming landscape shifted from a land rush to a competitive, mature market. The initial explosive growth gave way to a predictable, linear growth trajectory. This maturation was driven by two key factors. First, market saturation and competition. Other Wisconsin tribes successfully established their own casinos, and new commercial gaming options emerged in surrounding states. This competition fragmented the customer base, ending the Oneida Nation's early regional monopoly. Second, geographical constraint. The core revenue remains tethered to the population density and discretionary income of the immediate northeast Wisconsin region. Expanding the casino floor or hotel capacity, while necessary for competitiveness, no longer yields the 15 to 20% year-over-year revenue spikes of the 1990s. Instead, it provides incremental, single-digit growth. In this mature phase, the operational focus shifted entirely from market expansion to rigorous profit optimization. Management's primary objective became maximizing the revenue derived from the existing customer base, and infrastructure key strategies include maximizing revenue per patron, utilizing sophisticated data analytics and loyalty programs to identify high-value players and target them with personalized offers, dynamic pricing, and exclusive incentives. Cost management and operational efficiency. Implementing lean management principles and technology upgrades to reduce labor costs and utility consumption without impacting the guest experience, non-gaming revenue integration. Investing heavily in hospitality assets, hotels, high-end restaurants, entertainment venues, to capture a larger share of the customer's discretionary spending beyond the gaming floor. Essentially creating a destination resort to fend off regional competition. While successful, this optimization strategy inherently locks the nation's primary revenue source into a linear model, meaning growth is proportional to investment and constrained by physical limits. It is a model focused on protecting market share rather than creating new wealth, a critical limitation in the face of accelerating global change. The digital imperative, the crossroads of economic models. The linear limitation, vulnerability, and constrained reinvestment. The core economic challenge for the Oneida Nation today is the inherent vulnerability and constraint of relying overwhelmingly on a single, geographically confined, linear growth business, the brick-and-mortar casino. Systemic vulnerability. The COVID-19 pandemic provided a stark lesson. A public health crisis or a regional economic downturn can instantly shut down gaming operations halting the flow of capital that funds essential tribal services. This reliance creates a dangerous fragility for a sovereign government. Constrained reinvestment. The operating profit margin must fund everything. Member per capita payments, health, education, infrastructure, and all new economic diversification efforts. If gaming growth plateaus, the discretionary capital available for significant reinvestment in new future-facing markets also plateaus. The return on investment, ROI, in the mature gaming industry, e.g., adding another restaurant, is small and predictable, lacking the potential to generate the vast new wealth required to exponentially improve quality of life. The need for exponential diversification. A strategic pivot. The future of tribal self-sufficiency demands a strategic pivot toward the exponential growth models found in the digital economy. The contrast between the two models is stark. First, traditional economic model. Primary characteristics: standard growth profile, limited scalability, linear growth, physical assets, high marginal cost, geographically confined, heavily regulated, incremental growth proportional to investment, constrained to a local, sharp regional market. Second, exponential digital market, software, digital data, low marginal cost, global market access, regulatory arbitrage potential, hyperscalability, self-accelerating, potentially unbounded globally. For the Oneida Nation, aggressive diversification means entering digital markets where the marginal cost of serving 1 million new customers is near zero. The nation's 2018 Economic Development Strategic Plan already highlighted this transition, identifying sectors like software development, data analytics, and healthcare technology as key targets. The exponential opportunities, fintech and digital payments, leveraging the nation's experience in managing complex gaming transactions to launch specialized financial technology services, potentially capitalizing on sovereign status for unique regulatory positioning, e-commerce and logistics optimization, building scalable digital platforms to support tribal enterprises, potentially integrating with a massive logistical footprint around Green Bay's airport and the foreign trade zone on the reservation, digital entertainment. Moving beyond physical slot machines to intellectual property and digital content creation, tapping into the multi-billion-dollar global markets for mobile gaming and streaming. This strategic pivot is about migrating the nation's risk from a single physical asset to a diversified portfolio of digital assets that can scale globally, ensuring that future wealth creation is limited only by innovation, not by geography. Future frontier, the Aerotropolis and Advanced Air Mobility, AAM. Strategic opportunity, sovereignty as a launchpad. To achieve this exponential growth transition, the nation needs a large-scale, transformative project that simultaneously forces the development of digital infrastructure and leverages its unique sovereign and geographic advantages. This is where the concept of the Digital Aerotropolis and Advanced Air Mobility, AIM, becomes the ideal strategic catalyst. The Oneida Nation's land is uniquely positioned, surrounding and adjacent to the Green Bay, Austin-Straubel International Airport, GRB. This adjacency is the foundation for an aerotropolis, an urban development that places the airport at its core. By integrating into the next generation of air transport, the nation can leverage its tribal sovereignty to fast-track development, regulatory frameworks, and public-private partnerships with greater speed and flexibility than typical municipal or county governments. The eVTOL catalyst, forcing digital evolution. The entry into the electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) market is the strategic wedge for the Digital Aerotropolis. eVTOL aircraft are electric, quiet, and designed for short to medium-range regional travel, essentially acting as air taxis or rapid cargo drones. eVTOL is not just about transportation, it is an infrastructure project for the digital economy. Vertiport development. The first step is the creation of vertiports, the specialized landing pads and passenger terminals for EVTOLs on Oneida lands. This physically links the nation's hospitality and commercial centers directly to the GRB airport in major regional cities, Milwaukee, Chicago, Minneapolis, with unmatched speed. This premium service instantly differentiates the Oneida Casino and Resort from regional competitors. Digital control systems. Operating an AAM network is fundamentally a digital undertaking. It requires massive investment in high-speed, low-latency 5G/6G infrastructure for reliable communication, AI-optimized route planning and weather modeling, and sophisticated digital air traffic management systems, UTM. These investments are the very backbone required for the nation's broader digital economy ambitions, e.g. hosting data centers, offering software services. Advanced human capital, developing an AAM ecosystem, creates a demand for high-wage, high-skill jobs in avionics maintenance, aerospace engineering, software development, and data science. This provides a direct path for tribal members to acquire the advanced digital skills necessary to lead the nation's diversification efforts. By launching an AAM enterprise, the nation compels itself to build the digital-first, high-tech infrastructure necessary for a globally scalable economy. It transforms a geographical advantage into a technological one. In conclusion, from linear to exponential self-determination, the history of the Oneida Nation's gaming operations is a powerful testament to the success of tribal sovereignty. The linear growth of the casino model saved the nation from poverty, funded a functional government, and fostered regional stability. The future, however, belongs to the exponential growth of the digital economy. The strategic move now is to use the steady, but limited, capital from the mature gaming sector to fund the launch of the Aerotropolis. By leveraging the adjacency to GRB and the flexibility of tribal sovereignty to aggressively enter the advanced air mobility, Kuramar, and eVTOL markets, the Oneida Nation can catalyze the development of a high-tech, digital Aerotropolis. This integrated approach allows the nation to diversify its revenue stream from a single geographically constrained asset to a globally scalable portfolio of digital and logistic services, ensuring economic self-determination and prosperity for the seventh generation and beyond. The path forward is to embrace disruption, transitioning from a successful regional destination economy to a globally competitive innovation hub.